to that. They're going to be paying attention to your card. So let's see what this looks like. I think this might be about right. It's better to leave too much than to cut off too much, because then you can't add it back. You can always trim some more. I can still see a little piece here, and I'm going to go ahead and give myself a line right there so I know where I need to cut. Okay, that's it, guys. That's all we're going to do. Let me get rid of these little scraps here so they're not in our way. And I'm going to use my my beacon glue. I'm going to use my beacon glue to glue the two pieces together, but I'm not going to glue it in the center. I'm just going to glue it. I'm going to pretend like it's this cup, and I'm just going to glue it a little bit. So I know more or less by looking at the cup where it needs to be glued. So I need to glue right here. Oh, this is the new one. This has not even been opened yet. I thought I had to open this. So I'm going to use this one, the beacon fabric. That works too. I use that sometime. So I'm going to glue right here. I'm going to go around this. Now, by looking at my cup, I can tell more or less how far I need to go in with my glue and still be okay. So there it is, guys. And then I hate when I say guys. I don't like to say that, because when I'm talking to somebody, I don't say that. But when I'm talking to you, when I'm recording and I'm by myself, I kind of feel funny, you know, that I'm talking to myself and nobody's here. And if I say you guys, I feel like I'm talking to you guys. How about that? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, here it is. So we're going to put this on top of here, and it's not going to be noticeable. See? So this is going to go on top of here. Now we need to cut this outline right here. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to take this pokey tool again, and I'm going to follow. I'm going to follow the curves of the cup. And that's how I'm going to cut that out. I think, I don't think it'll be too much work. I mean, I don't think it'll be too hard to do this. I kind of cut it with my my X-Acto, just to give me somewhere where I can insert my scissors. And I'm going to just cut out the center of this. This might be okay, I'm not sure, but we'll soon find out. Whoops. When you're cutting, guys, make sure you're cutting through both pieces of the foam. Because when I did it the first time, I was only cutting one piece of foam. And this is why I say I don't like to glue it in the center, because I want to be able to use this for something else. And then I'm going to cut straight across and remove this. And see, these are not glued, and I can reuse that. Okay, let's see if this works. Let's see if we need to trim a little bit more. I can see a couple of places where I need to trim more, which is right here and up here in this corner maybe. Yep, just right here and up here in this little corner. We're going to go ahead and trim some more. And these are glued together, so that won't be a problem. There's that. And did I turn it the wrong way? I might have. Oh, shifted on me. There. Try and make sure that your piece doesn't shift on you. Normally it doesn't, but hey, it did right now. So let me see. Right here. This is where I need to cut more. I don't like the way when one looks different than the other, so I try to make sure that they both, the bottom layer and the top layer, look the same. And let's see. Okay, this should have been enough. Maybe I need to flip it that way. This looks pretty good to me. Sorry if this video is taking longer than you guys like. Me personally, when Tamika's doing a video and she says, I'm sorry it was an hour long, you know what? I enjoy that because I had something to do for an hour. Because I don't like to watch TV. I don't watch TV. The only thing I watch on TV, I'm going to tell you what it is. I like the series Outlander. And that's what I watch on TV. And right now, it's not on, so I think I need to trim a little bit down here on the bottom, guys, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. You know, take your time on your cups. That way they'll look amazing. Okay, this should be good. That foam sticking to the back of this. There we go. See? Now we can't see any of that foam. And that's what I wanted. I don't want to be able to see the foam. There it is, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down on my cup. Now I can glue it to this or I can glue it to the bottom. But I usually like to glue it to this part. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue it to this part. And I'm going to add glue on the foam. And I don't get real close to the edge, like right there, because I don't like for it to be sticky there. And I don't like my sequins to stick to that area, so I don't get too close. That way I don't have a problem with my sequins sticking. But, you know, even when it sticks, they still don't look bad, you know, because really, they're sequins. They can't possibly look bad. They're beautiful. So I'm going to put this down very carefully, trying to line up with the shape of my cup where you can't see the foam. On the top up here, I can still see a little bit of this right here, and I do not like it, so I'm going to go in here and snip it off. I don't know if you saw that, what I was talking about, but I'm going to go ahead and snip this piece off because I don't like the fact that it was showing up there. There it is. Oh, that's on the outside. Let's see if I can move these pieces out of the way. But see, if I had done this before I put that acetate window, well, I would have had my template here to follow, and I wouldn't have to be doing what I'm doing now, because I would have been able to cut, you know, score it with the pointy tool and then cut on the outside of that, and it would have been perfect. But, you know, that's the way it goes. So here is the part that has the acetate, that has the dimensional tape on it. I see this is sticking out a little bit. Now, the good part about this, you can still go in and trim some. Like, I feel like I need to trim this some. So I'm just going to lift it up because it's not dry yet and cut it off, because I don't want it to show. There's a little piece of the paper here. I do not want that to show. So there it is, guys. So now we're going to add our sequence to it, because I don't have to stamp it in here anymore because I stamped the acetate. And when we put it together, guys, how beautiful is that going to be? But there's one more thing that I wanted to do, and I completely forgot before I even put this together. But because it's not dry, I can still do it. And I know I had it up here. Here it is. These are these doilies by Prima. And what I wanted to do with this, I wanted to sandwich it in between the foam and the cup. Because when you sit this down, when you stand your card up, I want it to look like it's sitting on a doily. So I'm going to go ahead and lift the foam up, the card open, in between the foam. It's going to go in between the foam and the paper. So I'm going to go ahead and lift it up because it's not dry yet. And it's not going to interfere because this is way at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and add more of this fabric tack. And because I want to put that doily in there. I'm going to put it on the foam and I'm going to put it on the cup. That way the glue catches onto both the top and the bottom of the doily. So this is the front of the doily. So I'm going to put it upside down because my cup is upside down. I'm going to stick this in there, right there. And then I'm going to put this back down over it and let it just glue itself there. So when you put this card down, when you stand this, because I wanted this to be able to stand up, when you stand it up, it's going to look like your cup is sitting on this doily. What do you think about that, guys? I think it's pretty. So we'll see. We'll see. If the doily was bigger, it might be better, but this is, I wanted to use this gold one from Prima, and these are available in my daughter's shop. So if you have her link, you'll be able to find them there. And I think her store is createsupplies.shop on Etsy. Yeah, this is going to look really, really nice. Oh, yeah. I like that. See, guys? Can you see what I'm trying to achieve here? So I want it to look like it's sitting on this gold doily. Now, make sure you don't have any of that foam or anything on the back of your acetate sheets. Because once you close it, you won't be able to get to it. Because I can see there's like little bits of that foam sticking to it. So I'm just going to clean that out. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Wow, I really like this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it around. And let's get some sequins to go in here. So I did buy a few sequins. And I think I bought something that really will go really well in here. I didn't even show you guys, but I bought a bunch of this stuff when I got my dye from these Doodlebug coffee cups and the takeout cup and the coffee cup stickers. And this was from Honeybee Stamps. And here's another of those. They had these on there, so I went ahead and bought this. I love anything with coffee or teas, so I always collect that stuff. Anyway, I had bought some sequins. They even gave me a little bee die as a thank you. So I had bought some sequins from them, and that's what I'm going to put in here. So I'm going to add some pink, and I'm going to add some of these little pink hearts. Here's some iridescent flowers and some little pink butterflies, because there are butterflies in this paper. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to add some of these little bitty butterflies. I hope I'm not opening the wrong thing, or because these are resealable. So I'm just going to add a little pinch, and I'm going to show you what they look like. Look at these tiny, beautiful pink butterflies. How beautiful are they? So they're going to go in here, just fluttering around in there. And then we're going to add some of this. Look at this color. And see, it's from Honeybee Stamps. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this open. And I hadn't showed it to you guys because I had a mess on my desk. And I was working on other stuff. I'm trying to get mine and Carolyn's swap wrapped up, but it seems like I always have another project that comes up. So I'm going to add some of these. Oh, these are beautiful. These little cupped pink iridescent flowers. So I'm going to add some of those. Go ahead and close this up. Here's some little pink hearts, but I don't think I'm going to add that. But I am going to add these flat iridescent flowers. I need to save the labels to these because I like to know what they are, what the names are. Those were called Spring Shine Flower Sequence. these that I'm going to put in next. And these are just those little flat, see these little flat iridescent flowers? That's what they are. So I'm going to put those in there. And this foam is pretty thick, so you can put quite a bit in there and you'll be okay. But I'm going to get some other sequins because I do have other ones. And I want to add more colors to it. So I want to add some of these in here. I really love this color. And I want to add, I don't think there's any really blue in this paper. Let me see. There's yellow and greens. Add some of these pinks in there. I do think I want some yellow, but I'm not sure if I have yellow. I have gold flowers, so let's do the gold flowers. Just to break up all that pink. Let's do some of these little gold. See? These little gold flowers. I think that's plenty, guys. And you can add little bugle beads. You can add seed beads. You know, you can add those little, what do you call those? Micro beads. You can add anything in there, but this is what I'm adding in there. I'm trying to see what else I have. Maybe I should add some. No, I think that's pretty good, guys. Like I said, I don't have any yellow sequins. If I did have yellow, I would add yellow. Because if you notice, this has yellow going through it. But I added the gold, so it should be fine. That's all I'm going to add in here, guys. And I think that is plenty. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this to glue the other cup on top of here. So, like this shaker card is so simple to make. And again, I'm going to stay away from getting too close to the inside edge. I had to go and touch it, right? The inside edge of the shaker. That way my sequins aren't likely to get stuck there. Let me add a little bit more though. I want to make sure it's nice. And you could use double-sided tape here if that's what your preferred adhesive is, but it's not mine, so this is what I'm using. Go ahead and close that up and make sure. And what I like about using this, that it does give you some time to kind of shift your cup around. So here's my cup already scored and everything, so I'm just going to line up my handles and know that that's where it needs to go, like right on top of there. And that's pretty much it. Let me turn it upside down. There we go, guys. I want to make sure. See, I can still shift it a little bit if I need to because it's not completely dry yet. Now, I could go back in and add some sticky to the dimensional tape to the handle if I wanted to, but it's not really necessary. So I just go ahead and leave it without. Look, guys, how pretty is that? The butterflies are sticking to the acetate on top, and they look so pretty right there where it says taste and see that the Lord is good. Oh, that's beautiful. So now let's prepare the spoon that we're going to put in here, because I'm going to add one of my spoons in there, guys. Remember these that I told you I picked up at Michael's? I'm going to add a gold one because my doily is gold. So let's add a gold one to there. And all I'm going to do to this, I'm going to add some of the fabric tack or the Beacon 3-in-1 or whatever I happen to be using. And I'm going to dip it in the diamond dust. Dip it in the diamond dust. But I want to add some of my little word beads. Let me move this little acetate sheet from here. I want to add some of my little word beads that I put on here where it says pray. So I'm going to add something to here. I can add thanks. I can add whatever I want into this little spoon. And that's why I like these little tiny tiny, tiny ones because they remind me of sugar cubes. And I don't know if you know this, like I have a drink station in my home, especially around Christmas time. I keep it stocked, and I'll put in there, I put in my coffee station, what was I saying? Oh, sugar cubes, because Walmart still sells those, you know, and you know, when I have company over, they either do the regular sugar or the sugar cubes or the honey spoons. That way they have an option. And so I know that they still make sugar cubes. So I'm going to add the word thanks on here. So that's what we're going to do. There's an H. I know I just saw it. T. T-H. There's an A. I guess I should have poured a bunch of them in my hand. There's an A. Look at how teeny tiny, guys. I don't know if I'm out of frame, but look at how small those are. Let me see if I can find an N. Here's a K. And I might find them out of order, but I'll find them nonetheless. Come on, K. The K seems to want to be hiding from me, you guys. And I need an N and an S. Here's an N. Did I grab it? Yep. Now all I need is an S. And you get a bunch of these. Next time I go to Michael's, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some more, because I know I'm going to be using these pretty regular. Here's an S. Okay. I should have had this out, and I forgot that I was doing that, but I got them now. And so I'm going to add these. Is that a Z or an N? Nope, that's an N. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Nope, that might be a Z, guys. Okay. I bet you that is a Z. Yep, that's a Z, guys. Looks like an N. Let me see if I can find an N in here. Or I could put joy. I could put anything with these, the colored ones. Remember the colored ones that I found at the dollar store? Let me see if I can find an N real quick. Here's one, I think. If it's not another Z, it'll be an N. Come on. Come to mama. Is it an N? Yes. I found an N, guys. Let's put the Z away. See the difference in the cubes? See the size difference? I don't know if you can see that. There's quite a bit of difference. It's not bad. It's when you're trying to spell something that's large that you're going to have an issue, because it'll be too large. So I'm just going to put some of this on my spoon so I can glue down my little cubes. And it doesn't matter if I add more than what I need, because after I'm done with that, I'm going to dip it into the diamond dust, and so it'll look like sugars on there. So I'm going to grab some tweezers really quick, because I don't have any nails, you guys. When I stopped working with the public, I stopped worrying about my nails. I used to work at a casino before I was a Christian, and I'm glad that I don't work anymore, because I think I would have had trouble with that. I don't think I could handle knowing that, you know, that's not right and that I'm working there. So I'm glad that I don't have to. Okay, here's the N. There's the K. I need to add some more glue. I didn't add enough. Or I could have added thank you, but I'm just going to do thanks. And I'm sorry if this is dragging on, but there it is, guys. Thanks. And I'm actually going to move the letters around because I don't want them to be perfectly lined up. You know, I want them to be this way and that way. So with my tweezers, I'm just kind of move them around some. Yeah, I like that. Look at that, guys. What do you think? How cute is that? So now we're going to go ahead and add some more of this, and we're going to dip it into the diamond dust. Maybe I should move this out of the way for now. And I hate when this stuff gets stuck on my, this is very hard to, when you use it, you have to be sure to cap it because it oozes out, and then it'll develop that, like a ring around it with glue, and you got to remove that. So here it is. I'm adding, I'm even going to add it to this right here. I'm going to add it to both sides of the spoon right here. Yes, it's going to be beautiful. And even to the rim right here. And a little bit right here on the tip of the spoon. Okay, that's good enough. Close this up. Here is the diamond dust for those of you who are not familiar. And I believe this was purchased at Hobby Lobby. If not, I'm sure you can find it online. See? I still have glue residue on my hands. And you get a bunch in here, you guys. And I don't really use that much because all I do is dip my spoon in it and tap it off. How pretty is that? And if you want more, of course, you would add more glue to it. But look at how beautiful that is. But you got to be careful. Like, you don't want to put this on something and then rub it because it can get sharp. So there's my spoon. Let me close this up because I don't want to drop it, you guys. Move that out of my way. Let's bring the card back in. This spoon is going to go right here. Right there. Miss Nisha, I hope you're watching this because this is for you so you can see exactly what I did. I hope that this explains things a little bit better for you, and I hope it really does help you because I want you to have an awesome birthday. Let me get my my E6000 out. I always do that. This is what I use on the spoon. I think you can use the Beacon 3-in-1 and it'll be fine. And you can even probably use hot glue because the spoon is plastic. But this is what I like to use. So I'm going to add a little bit to the back of the handle and to the bowl of the spoon right here. And then I am going to add some hot glue for a temporary hold. And this is more for a permanent hole. And you can actually get this like at a dollar store, like a Dollar General, or ours carries it. So I want to put it at an angle. I don't want it to be straight. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. What do you think, guys? So let me add a little bit of glue so I don't have to worry about it shifting on me. That's what we got so far, you guys. Oh, it's seeping out over here. Don't do that. I don't like it when there's glue and stuff seeping out and you can see it. So I usually try to clean it off. That is super cute. I absolutely love it. I always keep a paper, or I don't really keep wet wipes like everybody else does because I'll put it on stuff on top of paper and it'll ruin my things, so I try not to do that. So there it is so far, you guys. Now my friend Meg from Puerto Rico, if you recall one of my videos, I said that she had racked me and she sent me a bag full of ribbons and stamps. So these are two of the ribbons that she used. Now, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with this gold one right here. But then I have this one that has like different shades of yellow. Like, it's not really an ombre effect because it's different stripes. But it does go from a lighter to a darker yellow. And then on the ends is a sheer white. But I think I'm going to go with this one that's a little bit more gold because it's a sheer gold. Even though the spoon is gold, this is a sheer gold. And it's like a mustard gold, like an antique gold. So I'm going to see if this one, I think this one would be really pretty, you guys. I don't know what you think, but I'm going to go with this one. So I'm just going to cut a piece because I'm just going to tie a little bow around the spoon. Oh, this lace is beautiful. This trim is beautiful. So my spoon probably won't move anymore. And I go underneath the handle right here. I bring it up here. And this is where I make my bow. And now my friend Carolyn, she did a tutorial on tying. Not really a tutorial, but she talked about tying a ribbon. And she said that if you leave one end longer than the other one, when you tie your bow, and Carolyn is Tea Time and Dolls here on YouTube. When you tie your bow, that the one that loops around will be the same length as the shorter one because you gave it that extra to be able to make your bow, but you left it that extra. So when you tie it, when it's all said and done, both tails of your bow will be the same length. So here's my bow. And I'm going to make it smaller because I don't want it that big. And it might be too close to that gold, guys, but because it's sheer, I really like it, so I'm going to stick with it. But, you know, it's your project. If you're doing it along with me or if you plan on doing your own, it is your project. And just go ahead and do what you like or what looks good to you. Now, I could actually tack this down, this little ribbon, and I might because I don't want it to stick up like that. So I'm just going to, little dab of glue there. Little dab will do you. Tack it down and I was going to say, and then I don't have to worry about it, but no. Just got to do that. So there's the little bow, and I could actually add a little flower right there if I wanted to. Now this seems to be sliding a little bit, and I don't want it to do that. Ha! Looks like everything's sliding. The phone, the card. I don't want it to do that, so I'm going to add a little dab of glue right here to my handle, and then I'm going to slide the bow down over it to hold it more permanently there. So here's the card, you guys. If Ginger was going to stand this up, and it does tilt because it's got that curved bottom. If you don't want it to tilt, you're going to have to cut the bottom straight. I don't want it to be straight because I am going to add flowers right here. And I'm thinking when I add the flowers, I'll be able to kind of straighten it